Hello, welcome, beautiful soul. This is Danette May, and this isn't just a podcast. This is a remembering. And this is the Greece series. I'm taking you on a pilgrimage through ancient land, through dream time, through the raw truths of being a woman who longs for more. I'll share the calling, the guilt, the miracles, and the magic that all unfolded as I followed a tiny whisper to travel to Greece in less than a week's time. Whether you've traveled far or never left your hometown, this journey is yours too, because Greece is just the mirror. The truth, it's already inside you. Let's begin. Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now. I want to just speak to you because I think these times are very interesting, and some of us are navigating new territory, new waters, and need just a little help with clarity, with some questions you might have, or these deep down beliefs that you actually think you know, but it's just nice to have somebody else echo them back. So I want to share something that I'm offering, and it's for a short amount of time. I have not offered this before, but I really feel called to, because we are in new times. We are in times that a lot of us just don't recognize. We might be navigating tough things in our relationships, or financial struggles, or just not knowing and needing a little bit of clarity about a choice that we're wanting to make. And sometimes we just need somebody who can tap into our spirit, listen to what we might be facing, and offer really good guidance. Listen and offer support. Maybe it's channeled from a loved one, from an ancestor that's passed away, or just my inner wisdom. I want to let you know that I'm doing these wisdom readings for those who sign up. These are soul aligned. They help with clarity. They mirror back your inner knowings. And I'm going to do it all around, whether it's health or relationship or business or your next big leap. Okay, so book now and receive 5 beautiful bonuses to support you. Click the link in the show notes. I cannot wait to connect with you. You're probably wondering, am I going to Greece? But you're probably not really wondering it because you're seeing the series up on the show. I'm actually going to Greece. I'm not in Greece yet. I am still in Colorado. And today, after the last time I left, there was a few days in between the last episode where I was like wondering if I was going to go. And I have to tell you exactly what I did to find out if I should go, because there were things planned over these dates. I was going to be at another retreat presenting. I was going to be doing certain coaching calls and different things that I already had on the docket. So planning this trip meant moving everything around, right? And the trip was not really panning out. I couldn't figure out what location on Greece I wanted to go. And I was trying to do different charter planes from Athens, and they just weren't lining up and getting me in at weird times that I just weren't comfortable with. And I wasn't feeling the flow. Now, my girlfriend has asked me, because I'll tell her, follow the signs. And she's come to me in honesty and said, Danette, when you say follow the signs, what does that even look like? Because she was referring to, I remember about a couple of years ago, I was talking to her and I was like, yeah, it snowed. And so it was a sign and I didn't go. And she's, Danette, a lot of people would just look at the snow and say it's snow. They wouldn't look at it as a sign. They shouldn't go. And I really believe in signs. I believe that you're receiving signs all the time, whether you should do something, call someone, go someplace, stop something, pivot, whatever. You're getting signs and clues all the time. And they come in the form of animals. They come in the form of conversations. They come in the form of knowings, nudges. They come in the form of seeing something over and over or hearing something over and over. They come in the form of just bumping and bumping against a lot of resistance. And they also come when you keep going, even in some of the resistance. So here's what I do. And I want to explain this because I think a lot of people might have this question. How do you know this is like a spiritual sign, or it's a sign, or it's just your own imagination, you're creating it up? Granted, we're creating this whole life, so we're probably making it all up regardless. But what I did, because I kept running into all this resistance, it didn't feel easy. The flight was expensive. I was like, I don't know, this is feeling really jangly. But my original plan to go to Costa Rica had been diverted. So the universe already created that one. That one I had no control over. I wasn't able to get down to Costa Rica because we were actually building our dream home They had told us it was going to be done in April. Then they told us it was going to be done in May. And now I was planning on going there to be there when it was over, do the punch list, check it out. And they moved the date like last minute. So that flight needed to get switched anyway. So here I had this free open time. So I'm like, feeling this nudge to go to Costa Rica. Why am I feeling this? Why now? It's not very convenient. It's putting people out. Who plans a trip in a week's time to an international country? Not very many people, unless you're single and ready to mingle. But when you got responsibilities, businesses, children, dog, houses, it's not as likely. So here I am trying to do that. And it's not flowing. A lot of people, I think, would say, oh, that's my sign. I'm not supposed to go. But I believed that everything that is right doesn't have to be easy. It doesn't have to flow immediately. It doesn't have to just be laid out like a red carpet in front of you and you don't have to do anything. Obviously, I have built 3 businesses. Those didn't just magically appear. Those were not like red carpet and easy. There were many days where I had to put a lot of sweat equity, a lot of tears, a lot of manpower, and a lot of energy, muscle into work days to create what people look at as flow in Danette's life. So I always know that it doesn't have to feel easy for it to be right. It doesn't have to always feel like that. So I always like to do my part, do my research. Like in this case, I need to do research. I need to look at flights. I need to get savvy. I need to look at accommodations. I need to see if this actually is going to pan out. Am I going to be able to get to where I want to get at the date I want to get there and not have it be just ridiculous? And sometimes it doesn't feel and flow. Like you can just feel it in your body. It just doesn't, it's not really lining up. And the thing is, I was trying to go through Athens, but I'm trying to get to Crete. And I'll explain in another episode why Crete and all of this ancient wisdom that's on this particular island. And we'll do that in part 3, why Crete. But I was trying to get into Athens. Now, if anyone really knows me, which Spirit does, God does, knows that I don't like sitting in airports. I don't like planes, trains, and automobiles. I like efficiency. But I was trying to do it that way, get into Athens and take a charter plane over to Crete. And it was just feeling a little jangity. The times weren't really lining up. And also, I wasn't really sure where to stay on the Crete island. What's the best place? What's the best location? Lo and behold, I have a beautiful girlfriend, Anastar, who has been there and has been there many times and has been to many locations on the Grecian islands and was like, this is the best spot. These are the best locations. So I was sending her things and she's, I want to join you. And I'll take you to all these beautiful places and these restaurants. And these are the best locations and the best beaches. And they're the way I like to do it, which is I want to hang out with the locals. I want to go to the local spots that they like whisper and say, don't go there. Don't tell anyone. Let's keep the tours on the busy sides and the busy beaches. But I like little hidden coves and caves and these hidden gems of restaurants where the Grecian mother and father are making you the most delicious meal and you feel like you're with family. I love that. I love walking streets that not many people know of. And I'm feeling the energy and the ancientness of it and the ancestors of the land. That's how I like to travel. So I knew she knew all those little secret spots. So I was like, great. Okay. Now I feel like I found this accommodation. And we found this perfect accommodation, but it was like really expensive, rightfully. It's like on the water, has like everything the way I would want it, like the best sheets and actually a pool that's made with salt water and not chlorine, which is right up my alley. And it's in the best location and it's walkable and you can go to a cafe and walk and you can go straight into the ocean. Like it's just spectacular. And I was thinking, I wonder if they would want me to share about this place in exchange for a reduction, like win-win for everyone. So I reached out to the woman who managed the property and she's like, absolutely, let's do that. Let's do this because I looked you up. I looked you on your social, I looked you on your website, listened to one of your podcast episodes. Like you're the perfect fit. And I am like, all of you would love this place. So I'll be definitely sharing with you this place. I'll link it. You can stay there yourself. Honestly, if you had 3 couples, it's totally worth the price and full price because it's just epicness. So then I was like, cha-ching, that's lining up. That's a sign. That's a ping. Okay. And then I was like, okay, I went to go look for flights. They were so expensive. Like ridiculously expensive, more expensive than I've ever paid for a flight anywhere around the world. And I was like, okay, this is not feeling easy. And it feels a little off to pay this much for a flight. But I get really savvy and I still listen to the clues. So I was like, who do I know that runs operations to look for flights? So I reached out to a contact and I will link him because I'm so grateful for them. I'll link it in the show notes. I reached out. They had a flight for me that was about $4,000 less than I could actually book. And it wasn't taking me into Athens, it was taking me straight into Crete with only one layover. That's insane. Those kind of flights I was looking at were like at least 10K more. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is a sign. This is a sign. I knew there was a sign, but I have to back up a little bit. So when it was starting like a day or two ago, when I was feeling a little jangity, and I was like, I took a piece of paper and I've shared about this, about writing your things down, placing it under your water bottle, placing it for the day and overnight, and then drinking the water. I can attest to this. So it's jangity. I'm not sure if I want to go or what, if I'm going to go, if this is going to happen, if I'm going to find the right accommodations, if I'm going to find a decent flight cost and have it not be like 27 hours in the air, right? And just be like so taxing on the nervous system. I wrote on a piece of paper, I am being guided. Spirit is lining things up for me. I am listening. I am following the new patterns. I wrote it on a piece of paper. I folded it up. I put it underneath my glass bottle on my counter and let it sit all day. Then I drank it. And the next day is when all of this lined up. I kid you not. This stuff is powerful. We have to remember our power. We have to remember that we can yoke and link up with a higher power, whether you call it God, source, or divine energy, or higher intellect, whatever you want to call it. There is a higher power, and we have this opportunity to link up with it. So that's what I did. And I was like, just show me. Show it to me loud and clear, where I'm supposed to go. And when these things, then it just started to go ching, the accommodations, and we got this massive discount and this trade and the accommodations. Then the flight, and he found me this flight, and I found a rental card. It was like, bam. So that's a sign. Now, if I had put the note under the water bottle, stuck it on my counter, let it sit, and then drank it, and then let's say today, which is today, I wasn't able to get help with the flight. I wasn't able to secure an accommodation. I would probably look at it as, you know what, not now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to go to Greece at some point, but maybe it's not right now. I don't know what's around the corner. I trust in a higher power. I'm not going to have a hissy fit about it. I put in a lot of energy and effort to look for things. It's okay, not right now. But since everything lined up, I knew it was a clue. So that's how I know and look for signs. Hopefully that's actually helpful for you as you're navigating life. And these are these bigger decisions, I should call them. You can do this with anything, whether you should move, whether you should buy a certain house, whether you should, I don't know, leave your job, whether you should get into a certain relationship, whether you should have a certain conversation. You can look for signs. They're everywhere. And the more you're willing to see them and notice them, which comes with, it's like a muscle, it has to be cultivated, and you have to figure out how this muscle works and build strength with it. You get better and better at reading the signs and looking for the clues. But I always say, you got to put a little muscle in it at the beginning. You got to put your own effort. You got to show, we can just use this term. We got to show the universe, you can call it God, source, whatever you want to call it. You got to show them that you're invested too, that you're willing to put in effort. You're willing to put some savviness into it. You're putting some sweat equity into this. I don't think that we're just meant to lay back on our backs and be like, give it to me. At least for me, I think you need to show that you're willing to put some action. I always say faith without works is dead. I love that scripture phrase because it's like, you can have faith and know that you're being guided, and then you got to put some work in there. You got to do your part. You got to get a little savvy. You got to put a little muscle grease in there. You got to be willing to change the tire. I always say that. There are some people that will drive a car, but will never learn how to change the tire or be willing to change the tire when things get a little difficult. Be the type of person who's willing to change the tire. And it doesn't mean you're going to always be changing the tire. It doesn't mean it's always going to be that way, but be willing to do your part, and then let the universe show you whether you're meant to do it or not with time, right? You don't want to just give up on something, and you also don't want to keep pushing too long. Like I said, I surrendered yesterday. I wrote everything out on a piece of paper. I put it under the water. I really believe in that. I'll link that episode in the show notes right now about the power of water and your message written out underneath the water. And honestly, then I knew you're going to work with me. You are going to communicate with me, and I'm going to listen. I have one more day. It's getting ridiculous. I don't have many days to book this. So that's how I work with the signs and with knowing. And I'm happy to say I just received my confirmation email that the flight went through. I have my accommodations. I have my friend who's going to meet me, who will be on some of these sacred site excursions. And now I'm going to take you on a journey. And I'm going to be so raw and real on this journey about what I uncover on these lands, what came up, what hidden messages, what ancient sites did I see, what did I feel, what did I eat, what did I do. And if you're just a big travel person or a foodie, you're going to love it. But if you're really curious about sacred sites and these ancient history, you're really going to love it. I'm just going to be vulnerable. We're going to do this together. We might as well. And so buckle up. Let's get on the plane together. I'll even share like what I pack and things like that, but let's get on the plane together. And the next episode will be me flying over and sharing with you what is the ancient history there? What am I trying to uncover there? And all that goodness. Make sure you're clicking the follow button. You don't want to miss these. I'm dropping these all in one big series, the Greece series. So click that follow button right now. You don't want to miss these. I can't wait to take you on the journey. You can also start to follow along on social with some pictures at the Danette May on Facebook and Instagram. You can see the pictures. There's even a highlight reel. If you know those like highlight buttons, you click on it, it says Greece. You can see the whole stories played over and over. So excited to do this journey with you, and let's get the party started. I love you guys and have a beautiful day.